you're ready to talk politics, because that's all we're doing this show.
I'm gone.
All right.
Just kidding.
Politics for days. No, actually, it's the complete opposite. We're complete opposite of talking politics. We're happy it's over. It's finally over. We can all move on with our lives. And we're just going to be talking sports because finally, hallelujah, we can all move on with our lives. We already got people in here. We already got 2 likes. We already got 5 eyeballs.
Yeah.
5 eyeballs would be 10 eyeballs, actually.
That's
we
true.
got Josh, like normal, with his sweet style chicken packet, as usual. Josh has given us the green light that we don't have to talk about the Packers today.
All right.
So we'll skip over that for you. Just kidding. Strikeout Bear in the house. What's up? Yoklo, but it's kind of like a weird YOLO with a K, but he fixed it. Just popping into sport. Having a family issue tonight. All right. Well, I'll be praying for you. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Have a fantastic night, Strikeout Beer. We'll miss you. But yes, family's important. Make sure you go take care of them. Hope everything's okay. Whew. All right. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just pumped up today. Because I voted today. Got out of the house and I voted, and I just felt good. I felt so good after voting that I made that TikTok. I made a TikTok video.
Mm-hmm.
Just feeling good today. Did you vote today?
I did. I was off today, so I got to go whenever I wanted. So I went in the middle of the day.
When no one was there.
Hitting that lunch hour rush. Not really, but I was in and out in like 10 minutes.
Nice.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I went in a little bit before the work, everyone got out of work.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the line was kind of long, but not terribly long. And as soon as I left, I looked at the line and it tripled in size. So I just barely beat the rush.
Well, maybe someone's standing in line right now waiting to vote, listening to the podcast.
That would be perfect, because that's what I put in the description of this video. I said, if you're watching this live stream right now and you haven't voted yet, you got to fix yourself. Turn this off.
Turn it off and get going.
Go. Get going. Get out of here. Make sure you do that, because I think our polling place is open, or at least mine was open till 9. So I know they're still open most places.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've already voted, if you're standing in line to vote and you're just listening, you are listening to the award-winning podcast On and Off the Field with Durf fan Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm Dylan. That's Durf.
Yo.
I'm drinking beer. I got neon lights from Ami Gang.
Nice. Just rocking my porter.
As per usual, the Yingling Hershey. That's sexy stuff, though. I can't wait to buy some. It's only $10 for a 6-pack. That's a steal.
That's not bad.
The last time I was at the store, I got for those who don't know, our Wegmans grocery store here, you can pick 6 beers for $11. Just 6 random beers. So that's what I normally do, but I got to get the Hershey's one of these times. I got to try it. Beers in the chat from Strikeout Beer. I assume this is Rapid Dave, because I think normally he communicates through Strikeout Beer. And Alan comes in with his personal profile.
At 8:05.
At 8:05, correct, yes. When the show actually starts, yeah. The first hour, nothing. Yeah, that's how she usually goes. Boy, oh boy. Hey, let's do something podcast related.
All right.
We got to make sure everyone's flossing out there. Ooh, hold on a minute. L. Bushman.
Yeah.
Drop a shot of Screwball in that Hershey's. Ooh.
I've heard that's the thing to do.
Oh, we talked about that, I think, the first time.
Yeah, I don't have any Screwball, but that might be on my list of things to purchase down in the future.
Yeah, I got plans for the podcast I need to put in motion. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be hanging out in person here soon, I think. Hopefully, we got to talk on the side. We're working some stuff out. We might turn that into a video. We'll go buy some Screwball and see what happens. Thank you for the suggestion. Hershey's. The Hershey's. I didn't even notice the typo. Don't worry about it. We got Game On Sports podcast from the Twitch channel tuning in. What's up, my boy? He's my main guy on Instagram. I love that guy.
Nice.
Love him. What were we doing? We were about to tell people to floss. That's what we were about to do.
10 out of 10 podcasters recommend flossing.
Recommended. Yes, sir. Recommended by 10 out of 10 podcasters. Not even 9 out of 10 like most toothpaste.
100%.
100%. Everyone, you have to floss. Which is follow, liking, observing, subscribing, and sharing everything on and off the field related. LOL says Game On Sports Podcast. But we have to give you some more detail about how to floss. And I know for a fact Durf can tell you all about that.
Absolutely. And you can follow, like, observe, and share on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at On and Off the Field Podcast or OOTF Podcast. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Twitch channel, which we just started recently, getting some great content like right now and past episodes. Check out those vids, people. Make sure to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts so that we know how we're doing and what you like or dislike about the show. And you can find all of these links you can find our podcast on your favorite podcasting platform at onandoffthefield.com, along with our fundraising efforts, our sweet merchandise, and to learn more about Dylan, myself, and this award-winning show.
Never gets old saying that.
No, never does.
Award-winning show. There's not any point in my life where I'm going to be like, I don't feel like saying award-winning show anymore. That's just never going to happen. Hello, Lenny. Welcome to the show. Lenny Melnick tuning in for probably the first time. It's the first time I've ever seen that name. What's going on, man? We just got done talking about flossing. And we're just about to say we got $335 raised for the Boys and Girls Club of America.
Nice.
I still have to put my money in there because I haven't done that yet because I'm lazy and poor. Award-winning show, says Josh. You know it. Award-winning show, gold medalists. But yeah, so our goal's $1,000, and I put it out on social media that we want to hit our $1,000 goal because if we do that before the end of the year, we're going to do a big giveaway, a big something, charity event giveaway, whatever we do. That's just kind of how we roll here. We got until the end of the year to figure out what that giveaway is.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably advertise the giveaway or whatever.
We probably should.
But
yeah,
we're trying to hit that goal of 1,000, and we're on our way. We got over $300 in there.
There you go.
That's awesome. Feels good. Lenny asked, what topic? What topic, you ask? Anything sports related. 24/7, that's it. We're leaving everything out the door. We kick out politics. We kick out relationship advice. We kick out... What else do we kick out that people don't like? I don't know. I'm not good with coming up with that. We kick. What do other people talk about on the podcast? We kick out horror stories. That's like a popular brand these days. People like doing podcasts about like scary stories. We don't do that here. My name ring any bells? I don't think so.
Dylan's got dad brain, so.
Oh, God.
It might be. I
might get in trouble if I don't know who Lenny is. I'm going to get yelled at by somebody. Someone's going to be like, you don't remember who I am? I'm sorry. My brain is bad. Yeah, no relationship advice here. And kicking out the Niners. Yeah, kick out the Niners. Well, we have to talk about the Niners. Strowman got qual offer. What is happening? What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
No.
I don't know what that means either. All right. We got fantasy football update for you. Just so you know, last week I told everybody that To Be Blunt has not won a game in our fantasy football league yet. And I told you, don't worry, I will give them their first win. Not on purpose. It'll just happen. Congratulations to To Be Blunt. They officially have their first win against me.
Nice.
I think I'm 3-5 now. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
they're 1-7.
No more defeated teams in the league.
Yeah, no more defeated.
For us at least.
And then, but unfortunately for you,
yeah, I knew it was gonna.
Finally got kicked out.
Yeah, I got knocked back down out of first place again, losing to Kyle, our buddy Kyle.
Oh, did you actually play Kyle?
Yeah. He I didn't have good numbers this week for my players. It was the bye week bug kind of bit me this week.
The fantasy football bug bit me. Like everything's I'm just getting bit. Just one big old chop. My teams just suck. Game On helped me out here, I think.
Oh.
Mets gave him a qualifying offer. So the guy who's buying the Mets, apparently. I have seen that story floating around. Just so you know, we talk like pretty much all NFL because the next segment we jump into is called The Other Sports. And we call it The Other Sports because it's just like kind of a wrap up of what's happening around the sports league.
Yeah.
And then we kind of leave it alone because we don't really know a whole lot about any other sport than the NFL.
We just know the surface stuff.
Yeah. And somebody buying the Mets normally doesn't make it into our lineup because that's for us personally, that's not big news. I don't really personally follow that kind of news.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to Game On Sports Podcast for helping us out, figuring out what we got there. Stroman with the qual offer. Yeah, I guess from what I saw, people were trying to like fight him buying the Mets. Like they didn't want him to buy the Mets for some reason. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like people are upset about it. I don't know. If you want us to talk about it, put it in the comments section. We can like relay the information to the listeners because I don't know anything about the Mets and who they're buying, who's buying the Mets.
Yeah. But
Game On is a Mets fan, and I try to keep them out of my lineup. Yeah, Mets are. You got the polar bear over there, right? That's his nickname. Is that the guy's nickname? The polar bear, that rookie who like broke the rookie home run record. Pete Alonso, I think. No,
is that his nickname?
I thought it was.
Interesting.
Game On Sports Podcast will know because he's a Mets fan. If I'm wrong, I could easily be wrong, but I thought that was his nickname.
All right.
But this is why it's called The Other Sports.
Pete Polar Bear Alonso. All right.
Yeah. I don't know why that'd be his nickname. Russell Wilson's nickname is Mr. Unlimited. And DK Metcalf is the Milkman.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I know why it's Milkman because I think Nesquik is a sponsor of his. Yeah, Pete Alonso. Yeah, is his nickname the Polar Bear? That's what I need to know. I knew it was Pete Alonso though.
Well, I think he's saying yes because he said Pete Alonso.
Oh, okay.
So the answer is
nailed
the question.
It. Yeah, nailed it.
There you go.
Perfect. Polar bear. I don't know why I know that. That's just one of those things that just floats around in my brain.
Yeah.
For the other sports I actually wrote down, we're just sending those prayers up for Ole Miss tight end DeMarcus Thomas, who apparently took a really nasty hit in practice the other day, and he lost all feeling in his body. He was airlifted to the hospital where later in the evening, it came out that he was starting to feel, his extremities again. Things started to look up a little bit, but Lane Kiffin said he was, or at least someone wrote about it saying he was visibly shaken after that hit. He was shaken when he was in his press conference. And when he was asked about if he will play sometime this year, when he'll be ready to play, stuff like that, Lane Kiffin was just like, if you saw what I saw, if you saw what we saw on that hit, you wouldn't be asking that question. You would be just hoping he can walk again. So
yeah,
it's a good sign. He's getting feeling back.
That is good.
That's at least I saw that at least once tweeted out by Shefty, I think, that the hospital said there was good signs. So hopefully he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'll be playing football anymore, but hopefully he's okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's I feel like these are injuries you can hear about in the college level because so many of them are trying to one up each other. You gotta make that breakout hit, that breakout stat. You get back up in the game, and you worry about these guys forgetting their fundamentals to the game. And I haven't seen any video. I don't think they've released any video. They probably won't.
I hope they don't. I don't need to see that.
I mean, if it's anything like when Kevin Everett for the Bills got really bad neck injury on the kickoff, that's probably 15 years ago now. It's not something you want to sit there and watch over and over again.
Yeah, I remember the one that I always go back to, especially with kickoffs, is it was Ricardo Lockett for the Seahawks. He was running down the field, trying to tackle somebody from a kickoff return, and I think it was a Dallas Cowboy just completely blindsided him. Ricardo was kind of running sideways. Cowboys player blindsides him and just kind of puts his shoulder up, like right into his neck and head area.
Ooh.
And yeah, he got stretchered out of there, and that hit ended his career. So stuff like that it's scary hits. Scary hits. Game On Sports Podcast says Metcalf should be nicknamed Usain Bolt after that rundown. I love the video where it's Metcalf running down the guy he ran down. Oh, Buda Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put it side by side with Julio Jones running down when he had his rundown tackle of a linebacker that got an interception from Matt Ryan. It was like, because that's the comparison everyone makes. It's DK Metcalf and Julio Jones, and they both have like amazing rundowns after an interception now too. It's just great seeing that. Josh says he lost 15 pounds.
Nice.
He says, I know it's random, but I'm happy. Congratulations,
nice, man.
Is it because you're eating sweet style something out of that packet? That might have something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? And L. Bushman says, you are welcome. Thank you. We'll try that screwball thing at some point, hopefully soon. Wisconsin has canceled their game versus Purdue after they've had a total of 27 confirmed cases of COVID-19.
Wow. That's not good.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's very bad.
But, Wisconsin, the state in general, is just blowing up right now with COVID cases. So if that's a percentage of what's going on in the state, probably comparable.
I had somebody on social media have the gall to tell me that college football players will be safe when they're on campus because they won't go party. They'll know what's at stake, and they'll be responsible and not spread COVID on college campuses. Huh?
Oh.
Do you know what college kids do? Do you realize? Do you know what college is? That's all they do. What are you talking about? I thought that was funny. I'll never forget. And then I had other people coming in and basically saying the same thing I was. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that kid must have went to Harvard where they probably don't party. He's like, no, college kids don't act like that. Well, in normal colleges they do. Probably not the one you went to. Al Bushman says to hit him up. He has a sports show called Sports Caffeine.
Nice.
I'll have to come back and find that when I get done with the show. Game On Sports Podcast is very surprised by the 27 COVID cases. And Josh can't eat the stuff that's in his profile picture right now. So it's motivation every time I see it. What is it? What is it? It's sweet style something. It looks like an instant rice packet.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of what it looks like. I've been wondering this for weeks. And every time I bring it up, he never tells me what it is. It's bothering me. Is Wisconsin the school we were talking about the other week where we were talking about them starting their fourth string quarterback because he was the only one that didn't have COVID?
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, Wisconsin's having a little bit of a rough time right now.
Is that Big Ten?
Yep.
Yeah, they just came into this season not ready to go. Big Ten's already
No.
starting super late, and yikes. Hey, boys, good stuff. Got to get ready for my stream tonight. Yes, sir. Have a good stream. Is this your giveaway stream? Game On Sports Podcast. I think tonight might be his giveaway stream. I'm not sure. I'll have him confirm that for me if he's still here. Trevor Lawrence is not going to play at Notre Dame. He's still being quarantined due to his positive test.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if that was newsworthy or not. I just thought I'd throw it in there.
I mean, Dabo Sweeney kind of came out like front forth about it on Saturday, saying that he wouldn't start. I believe it was even if he did test negative for the required days in order to get out of quarantine. There's right now a lot of the college protocols for COVID. You have to go through a cardiac. The cardiac part of it is where he wouldn't have been ready anyway for this weekend. Like, you know, you gotta get your body back up to tempo with the cardio. And because of this virus attacking a lot of your cardiac system, it's definitely something you don't want. Someone who says, "Oh, I feel great," and then go out there and start running around. "Oh, coach, I can't do it. You got to pull me."
Flops down and has like a heart attack or something. Yeah, that colleges don't need that, and that's probably why that's in place. They're just trying. That was one of the big topics in the offseason was, well, colleges will be, if they have sports, will be liable if something happens to students. So I'm sure that's why that's in place.
Yeah.
And Game On Sport Podcast did confirm they're doing a giveaway stream tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. I think you got to go over there and like do some trivia, maybe something like that.
Fancy. Nice.
It's at 8:00. So if this show ends in time, maybe I'll even be over there. Probably not. We're supposed to go to 7 to 8, but that hasn't happened in weeks.
We do what we want.
We do what we want. Plus, if we stop it at 8, Alan won't be in here.
Yeah, we can't like just leave before our fans get here.
Yeah, I mean, Alan shows up. He gets on Facebook at like 8:05. He's like, "Wait a minute, where's Durf and Dylan? It's Tuesday, right? Where the heck are they?" I guess we should just stay on the news of COVID since we're just kind of rolling with that.
Yeah.
John Elway and the Broncos CEO Joe Ellis have tested positive for COVID. Mild symptoms from what I'm hearing. And initial reports say it was contracted from outside the team facility. They've had no contact inside the facility, so everything is still, a full go for the Broncos, but, more COVID. And then just a stack on top of that, Andy Dalton's year just keeps getting worse. He was placed on the reserve COVID list, and the Cowboys are now contemplating actually starting Cooper Rush. This is what I thought was going to happen. This doesn't surprise me. For some reason, it's surprising other people. I don't know why. They're contemplating starting Cooper Rush over Ben DiNucci, and Rush was undrafted 2017 and did back up Dak Prescott for 3 years. Starting Rush would skip backup Garrett Gilbert. I don't know who Garrett Gilbert is. He should probably be skipped. Ben DiNucci. He was terrible when they played the Eagles. This is as soon as I saw that they picked up Cooper Rush, my brain just went immediately, but there's the new starter.
Right.
He backed up Dak Prescott. He's been on this team for you said 3 years.
Yep. So
he's gonna make sense.
Yeah, he's gonna know Kellen Moore's system. He's not a rookie like DiNucci, and DiNucci didn't look great out there on Sunday. Like, he looked overwhelmed. It was too much for him, and even Jerry Jones admitted that. Like, he's like, yeah, it was a lot for him, but this is the circumstance we're in. So, Jerry Jones isn't happy about the situation in Dallas, and they're probably just trying to bail out of the sinking ship that's fastly sinking quickly. So, yeah.
The Cowboys are not out of this, division race.
Oh, right. Yeah,
the record would usually say, they're out of the race. It's a tank season, but they're still there.
Because they're in the NFC East, and that's the exception division.
Yeah. They could easily get in at 7-9. Maybe.
Or 6-10.
6-10 maybe. I don't know if 6-10 will get you there because the Eagles might end up 6-9-1, so they'll get in. So 6-10 might not do it. They might need 7-9. It's a real toughie over there with the NFC East. Josh is still waiting for us to collab with them. Guess we have to work on that.
All right.
You're gonna have to hit us up on the side. Let us know.
DM
I love
us.
collabing. Yeah, I love collabing. I'm going to be on Strikeout Beer on Wednesday.
Nice.
Well, actually, late night beer review, not Strikeout Beer. So, one and the same, I guess.
Late night beer review with the boys from Strikeout Beer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. What else happened? Oh, more medical news. I feel like that's all we talk about these days is medical news. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Raiders offensive lineman Trent Brown, who had COVID-19 recently. He's the reason that, all the offensive linemen got sent home for the Raiders the other week. It was a mess. He missed the Raiders-Browns game because the team doctor was giving him an IV before the game, and he let air into his bloodstream, so he immediately got sent to the hospital. What? What are we doing?
In the world?
These are team doctors. These people get paid pretty well, I'd imagine. They have millions of dollars at their disposal. And you're stabbing Tyrod Taylor in the lungs, and now you're letting air into bloodstreams during IVs. These are team doctors.
Yeah.
I go to the Red Cross where there's like volunteer nurses, and they don't let air into my bloodstream when they're getting blood. But these are team doctors of NFL teams, and you can't put an IV in? What are we doing? What?
I don't know. They might need to really think their qualifications for these team doctors because it's not working out right now.
Is the Chargers team doctor still hired by the Chargers?
I do not know. I weirdly think yes.
You didn't see anything that said he was fired.
Right.
Like he should have been.
Just kind of a whoopsie.
Yeah. I think it's just because Justin Herbert's kind of working out for them.
Right.
So maybe they're like, all right, I guess you kind of did us a favor. We'll let you stay. If Justin Herbert was like a dud and he got hurt or something like that, like you ruined his future, then I'm sure he would have been fired.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I think that's something the I-team has to look into if that doctor is still hired by the Chargers. The trade deadline went by with virtually nothing happening. I do have it pulled up here. Some of the things that happened recently, the Chiefs traded running back DeAndre Washington to the Dolphins. They're basically, I think it's that, and they're swapping some late round picks, something that doesn't really matter. Miami has 6 running backs on their roster. What the heck?
What in the world?
That's a thing I'm reading right now. That's ridiculous. Okay. Will Fuller did not get traded. That was speculation. Will Fuller may be going to the Packers. It did not happen. Stephon Gilmore is still with the Patriots, but the Patriots did have wide receiver Isaiah Ford from the Dolphins, which is kind of fun. An interdivision trade.
Interesting.
You don't see that very often.
No, you really don't.
The Dolphins get a 7th-round draft pick out of the deal in 2022. You trade a player and get a draft pick in the 7th round 2 years later.
2 years later.
That's the kind of stuff where like 2022 comes rolling around and you're like, oh, yeah, we do have that extra draft pick. I completely forgot about that. The GM and the owner and the team's just sitting in their draft room, and they do that. They make their last pick, they think. All right, boys, that's our 7th-round draft pick. Let's go. Let's all go home. All right, the Dolphins are on the clock. Wait, what? Oh, that's right. The Isaiah Ford one. I completely forgot about that. Just pick someone. Yeah, just put it on auto draft. I don't know. Just pick someone. Who do you want? I don't know. Just whoever's up there. Take a kicker. I don't know. Maybe another running back. We only have 6. Oh, what else happened? I feel like a lot happened. I'm trying to find names.
Other than that, just have the Titans news.
Yeah, the Desmond King, who was a all-pro corner 2 years ago, is now a Titan.
Yep.
I don't know why. Maybe he's gone downhill. They say he was a healthy scratch for the Chargers last week. That means nothing. That just means they didn't want him anymore.
Yeah.
Quan Alexander has finally been left out of the 49ers' future plans. They've been trying to trade him forever. He's just never been healthy enough to trade. I only know that because I'm in the division, so I follow what they do.
Oh, that's right. He went to the Saints.
Right.
And
they got Kiko Alonso for the 49ers.
Which is interesting because I feel like he hasn't played very well in the last couple of years. Anything. He's just a headhunter is all he is.
Yeah, he was like a really good player for a while, and then he turned into this like weird, dirty player for some reason. And he just started getting traded all over the place, and now he's just not relevant.
Yeah.
He used to be a good player. Everyone used Kiko Alonso, one of these the top middle linebacker. No, not anymore. Oh, and then I think the last one was Avery Williams, linebacker for the Jets, got traded to the Steelers. So he went from 0-8 to 7-0, and he did that Sunday. Picture. Did the pictures like trying to call a taxi when he was still in his uniform, like after the game. That was funny.
That was good. To do that. That was classy there.
That was amazing. He went from 0-8, took a bus ride to Pittsburgh, and he's 7-0.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to get wins right there. Just get traded. That's really all that happened. I don't know what you want me to say. I can't sit here and tell you that there was a big trade and we can discuss it and did it help the team. Who's the winners and losers of the trade deadline? The losers of the trade deadline are the fans.
Yeah.
We all lost because nothing happened. Right, we all just sat here. All right, we're at our computers and our TV screens. What's going to happen? I can't wait. What Adam Schefter is going to pop up on the screen and tell me that Stephon Gilmore is going to the Seahawks. No, nothing. Nothing. David Timmons checked in. He didn't say anything yet. David Timmons is normally part of our I team. I need him to look up if the Chargers team doctor is still a part of the team. David, if you're here, do that for me. I need to know if the Chargers fired their team doctor or not. And then you can look up the Raiders team doctor as well after he almost killed Trent Brown. All right.
Yeah.
We have our off-the-field hero.
Well, no, we still have one more piece of news.
What is that? Oh, my God.
You didn't see it? Oh, come on. So the Titans will be releasing outside linebacker Vic Beasley tomorrow, officially. They had told him today. Just a little surprising, but not really. But they'll be releasing him tomorrow, along with cornerback Jonathan Joseph and long snapper Beau Brinkley. So the Titans are cleaning up a little bit over there.
Why do you got to bring the long snapper into it, man?
I'm just telling you.
I mean, like I meant the Titans.
Maybe that was the long snapper that got COVID.
Oh, is it?
Because it was a long snapper when the Titans initially started having the COVID issue. It was one of the players.
I forgot about that. Maybe it was him.
Maybe it was him. Now they're like, nope, you gotta go. You're no good.
Yeah, man. Trying to take us down from the inside. Get out of here. Vic Beasley and Jonathan Joseph, they're both injury prone. I don't even know if they've been playing. They're both injury prone. They're both kind of getting up there in age. They're not performing. It's kind of like what I did with my fantasy teams. They used to be good, so it looks good on paper. Like, oh, we got Vic Beasley. Oh, we got Jonathan Joseph. And then you're like, oh, wait, they're like 30-plus years old. They're not good anymore. Yeah.
I mean, Beasley was signed this year with the Titans from the Falcons in the offseason. And he, from what I read, he didn't like show up for like 10 days after like the recording to camp, and like he didn't like follow COVID-19 protocol in order to report to camp. So then like it was like 10 days later, and a $500,000 fine he had racked up. And he's like, oh, maybe I should show up to camp now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they That was
he just didn't make a good first impression.
No, that was a really bad signing by the Titans, apparently. So,
my God. And Jonathan Joseph came over from the Texans, I believe, just this offseason. So that's 2 offseason acquisitions that they got rid of. And then Jadeveon Clowney. I'll accept all the apologies now, or all the people saying I was right. I'll take that whenever you guys are ready. But Jadeveon Clowney has done nothing for the Titans. He did very little for the Seahawks. I said if he wants $15+ million, he can leave. The Titans paid it, and he's done nothing. So he's not worth the money. He never has been. Ever since he's been in the league, he's never been worth that kind of money. He makes a couple splash plays here and there, but consistently,
right?
He makes a play like 1 out of 30 or 40 snaps. Maybe that's excessive. I'll stick with like 25 to 30. He'll make a play.
I'd go 30 to 40. But that was his problem at Houston, though.
Right. He doesn't have a motor. He just quits.
First round draft pick. If he's not blowing the guy up, he takes the play off, it seems like. And then he gets hurt because he's not motivated.
Yeah. Straight facts. He made one great, and let's all take a trip way back. We'll get to David Timmons in here second because he did something awesome. I didn't really think he was going to do that, but I love him. Let's still take a trip back in time. Jadeveon Clowney was virtually a nobody. All right. In college. And then he makes a great highlight for the decade century play where he bursts through the line and he knocks the helmet off the Michigan running back, and then he picks up the fumble with one hand. It was a great play. Amazing play. Like something that you'll watch forever for college highlights. That was it.
Yeah.
And he got drafted in the first round. First overall too? Or was it just first round?
I want to say he was first overall.
I want to say that too. And he got that because of that hit. I swear to God, we would never be talking about Jadeveon Clowney if he didn't make that hit. He would never be talked about. He probably would have been taken in the first round still, but never first overall. Never.
No, right, yeah.
So here we are. And everyone was fighting for him in the offseason, and they got nothing out of him.
Yep.
Yeah, so David, for some reason, he actually did this for us. I don't know why, but he's just awesome. He said he tried searching the status of both the Chargers and Raiders team doctors and didn't see anything regarding either doctor being fired, so I'd assume they're still employed. Okay. Well, thank you for looking that up. I appreciate it. I guess maybe they'll just get sued for malpractice and move on with their lives.
You win some, you lose some.
Can they be sued by the team? Is that like a contract thing? Maybe, like if you hurt our players,
I don't know.
Sue you, not give you a paycheck. Like there's 2 team doctors that put their players in the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there should be some kind of repercussion there, but nothing that we've heard publicly. So maybe it was taken care of in house.
Maybe. I'm sure there's no reason for someone to go behind a microphone and be like, yeah, we fired our team doctor. Maybe they did get fired, but it doesn't make news. Like, no one cares.
Right.
So, all right. Well, thanks for looking that up anyways. Appreciate our I-team's effort. Can we do off the field MVP now?
Yes, we can do off the field MVP now.
Right. After we went off on a giant tangent about Jadeveon Clowney and all these old people. All right. Bengals safety, Shawn Williams, SHAWN, Shawn Williams. Oh, it's Trent Williams, not Trent. Yeah, Trent Williams from the Washington football team. Yeah,
before he went to the Niners. Yeah,
that's the one we talked about in the offseason a lot. Holy cow!
Yeah, that's another good example of some team doctors that need to re-up their certification and find out that they're not certified anymore.
Yeah, that just throw this in here. We got 2 people watching on Twitch now. We got 2.
Oh, nice.
And Game On Sports podcast left to go set up their stream. We have 2.
Wow.
How do you know who they are? So welcome to the stream, guys. I don't know who you are, but welcome. Yeah, Trent Williams was nuts. That whole story was mind-boggling. Like Trent Williams, I'm not feeling good. All right, sit down. You're fine. I don't think I'm fine. I'm going to go get a second opinion. You have a tumor. Oh! Shit. No wonder you wanted to leave that team. God,
Yeah.
That story blew my mind. Bengals safety Sean Williams. We're gonna get through this. So he did something. He donated $80,000 and raised an additional $20,000 to provide 250 Chromebooks for students at his alma mater in Georgia. 43% of the students in his hometown of Blakely, Georgia, do not have proper technology access for remote learning. So Sean Williams launched a fundraising campaign to ensure that every Early County high school student in need of a Chromebook had one. Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's amazing. And it's something that people didn't, I don't think a lot of people thought about when we moved to remote learning. People think, just remote learn, hop on your laptop, we'll do a Zoom call. A lot of people don't have that kind of, the funds to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something that's that we were, it's not something that everyone had, like you said, and we weren't all prepared for it back in March. Like it was a huge shock. Like I can only imagine the, grocery store inventory went through the roof and down to nothing. I could only imagine technology inventory went down too, because everyone needed it.
Yeah, that's like personally. For us, I would never have to worry about that. A lot of people don't have to worry about that. I got a webcam right there, got my microphone, got headset, got 2 monitors. I'm ready to remote learn. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But, a lot of people don't have that luxury. They don't have anything. They'd be lucky to have a phone.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like if there's a lot of people don't have computers, don't have laptops because they have a phone. Smartphone technology has gone through the roof. So it reduces the need for that, and you go to school at a normal time period. Yeah. But
anything besides 2020, yeah.
Right. Like I know our area, like they provide Chromebooks to the students, so like that's good. That comes out of they've done that for a while. It's been it's been for a few years now. So like it was good that was already in place ahead of time for us around here. But yeah, I mean, that's the Chromebooks are what the kids need now these days. I mean, my wife, who's a teacher, uses one, and she uses her MacBook sometimes. But today I spent 6 hours trying to fix it because it was black screen to death. So I been messing with that all day, and hopefully it's not dead. But I mean, that's sometimes people have older equipment. You got to worry about that. So
we just, shout out to Sean Williams. I tried tagging him on Twitter. I don't think he has a Twitter. I couldn't find anything. Adam Schefter didn't even tag him in his tweet. So I don't think Sean Williams has social media, or at least a Twitter.
All right.
Yeah, that's the other issue. My mom coming in. Hopefully they have internet. That's a whole another issue, is having high-speed internet to even use that technology.
Yep.
These days and age, you'd like to think high-speed internet would be kind of like I don't want to say a privilege, or I don't want to say a right.
A standard.
Yeah. It should just come with every house, include your internet package in your mortgage. You don't have to pay a separate entity for your internet speeds. Like your house should come with a basic internet speed, so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Everyone needs internet.
Right.
That's just the world we live in.
You get that in newer apartment or condo complexes. Like a lot of that, I know a lot of places around here, that's kind of it's in your rent is your utilities like that. So it's already included, but single house homeowners, you don't get that. It's sometimes it's something you don't think about right away all the time.
Yeah.
Especially with unlimited data on cell phone plans. I don't need a laptop or internet. I have unlimited data. Well, now you do.
Not gonna lie, when we moved to unlimited data, that was pretty sexy. Not gonna lie, we made that move this past summer, and that was awesome. Hey, I know you'll love this. I don't know if he's already in and out, but Josh Welling is actually tuned into the show.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Good old Josh. The old Weggies days.
He told me a while ago he had seen the show a couple times. So
oh yeah,
he likes to pop in and out every now and then.
Cool beans. Welcome to the show, Josh. Location's an issue. Rural areas have no access. Yeah, it's a big issue that needs to be tackled, especially if we're going to continue doing remote learning. Because God only knows how long this is going to go on for.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. I didn't even change the banner. We already did NFL news, but now we're going to do NFL 8 recap.
Yeah.
It was a crazy week.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be completely honest. We both... Nope, this side. Hand goes this way. Up a little bit. We both had 8-6 records this week.
Oh, wow.
That might be like a season worst.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's probably the worst we've done so far.
Yeah, 14 games, 8-6. That's depressing a little bit. It kind of hurts because there was just upsets. Not even weird games like, oh, okay, I guess I could have seen me picking this person. No, no, these were weird. The first one, honestly, Foresight 2020, the Falcons have been putting up a lot of points, and the Panthers really haven't. But it was the Falcons' defense that we've all been concerned about. For some reason, they showed up against the Panthers in Carolina. I don't know why, but the Falcons put up 25 points, and that was enough. They beat the Panthers 25-17, and the Panthers really just couldn't get anything going. Yeah. They had Curtis Samuel, who was kind of explosive. Outside of that, Teddy Bridgewater had zero time inside the pocket, and I that's what I credit the Falcons with for this win. Yeah, is the amount of pressure that they put on Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater has legs. He can move out of the pocket. He's not fast these days anymore. He's not the young, spry kid he used to be. But, man, Grady Jarrett, he was all over the field. And that pass rush completely blew up the Panthers' game plan of the deep ball. Because if the pass rush is there, you can't complete deep passes. Plays can't develop.
Right.
And that's why I think the Falcons won. I'm not terribly surprised the Falcons won, but I did pick the Panthers, which is depressing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think another thing, too, that I didn't realize had happened, and maybe I didn't see this part of the game or miss it, but Teddy Bridgewater was out of the game for a little bit.
Yeah. He took a it wasn't a dirty play. I don't know. Some people said it was dirty. He was, I think he was kind of trying to get up the middle, if my memory serves me correctly. He was trying to run up the middle, and he was kind of being tackled, and then some guy came in and cleaned it up and ended up hitting him in the head, neck area.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was dirty.
Right.
It was just kind of unfortunate. The guy maybe didn't need to fly in there the way he did, but
that did give
football.
That did give some game time to our old buddy
for our boy
XFL, PJ Walker.
When he went in there, I was super excited, but he did nothing.
Yep.
He was pretty bad. And he was only in there for like 2 or 3 plays, and then Teddy Bridgewater probably was just sitting there on the sideline talking to coach. All right, let's see what PJ can do. 2-3 plays later, I can't feel my left arm, but I'm going back in there. Screw that. Put a helmet on. Like, this kid's got to get out of here. It's not good. Yeah, those are rough.
Yeah, the Panthers were a little overwhelmed by the Falcons defense, which is surprising for the defense to show up like that from what we've seen in the past 5-6 weeks. But yeah, Falcons got us on Thursday.
Yeah, and I was waiting for it to happen though.
Yeah,
because the Falcons scored that last touchdown to go up 25-17, and all they needed was the extra point to make it a 2 possession game. and the game's virtually over with how much time was left on the clock.
Right.
And then Young Hoku missed the extra point. And all that went through my head was, oh my God, the Falcons are going to do it again. Because that left it an 8-point game. And the only thing going through my head was, oh my God, the Panthers are going to drive down the field, score a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and win in overtime. It's going to happen. In my brain, I was like, that's exactly what's about to happen because he missed that extra point.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, that did not happen. Well, for Falcons fans, luckily that didn't happen.
Luckily.
I thought that was just funny when he missed that extra point. I was like, oh my God, Falcons are going to do it again. Hey, the Bills beat the Patriots.
Woo!
Not the first time in Josh Allen's career that they beat the Patriots.
Yep.
Tell you what, I was on the road listening to this game on the radio, and I was just listening to the final drive there. Like the Patriots down by 3. They're driving the ball. They just got done scoring a touchdown in like 3 plays on their previous drive. Like they just were blowing up the Bills defense. I was just like, man, they're going to lose to the Patriots right here. And then something glorious happens.
Yeah.
Who did it?
Justin Zimmer with the punch out on Cam Newton to fumble the ball and be picked up by Dean Marlowe with 30 seconds left on the game clock. So all Josh Allen had to do was go out there and take a knee, and that was the game.
And he didn't mess that up. He didn't fumble it, throw an interception, taking the knee? No? Okay. That's good. If anything, I was going to say let Zach Moss take the knee because he's the guy who really did it for the Bills.
Oh, man, he had a day.
Devin Singletary, is it because he's not getting all the carries? What's going on with Devin from a Bills perspective?
From a Bills perspective, from what I've seen during the game, it seems like he's not the feature back when he's in. I'm trying to explain this the right way. When he's on the field, they're not looking heavily to use him out of the back for running plays. Like they'll use him for pass. They'll try to use him for some screens and whatnot. But also, the Bills have had a lot of change in offensive line. Even on Sunday with Mitch Morse going out with a concussion, that kind of throws Feliciano into the center in his first game back from guard to center in the middle of the game. Singletary hasn't been explosive this year. Like he's kind of like just taking whatever the defense gives him, but a lot of times it's like maybe a yard, -2 yards, maybe 3. Until I think Sunday, he showed up a little bit, but I tell you what, Zach Moss had himself a day. In that second touchdown, I hope he bought all of his linemen whatever they wanted, because that was credit to those offensive linemen to shove him 3 yards into the end zone.
I didn't see that play.
Oh, it was glorious.
He kind of gets stuffed and then
he's at the 3-yard line, and then Feliciano just grabs him and starts throwing him forward, and then the rest of the linemen come up and just ram him into the end zone. Like, no, you're getting in.
That's funny. I love seeing that. That happened. I remember watching that happen in one game. I have no idea what it was, but it was like a 10-yard run for a touchdown. The guy gets 5 yards up the middle, but the refs don't blow the whistle. Normally, if there's a giant pile, the refs will blow the whistle. For some reason, they're just sleeping. They're fine. Let them play it out. It turned into a touchdown. Like it was a giant stack, and then the entire offense just pushed this pile into the end zone. I don't know why the whistle didn't blow, but I thought it was pretty funny. Dale Dupont just checked into the show. Welcome to the show.
Nice.
I love having this down here.
Welcome.
I can see who sneaks in here. I love it.
Checking on the listeners, the viewers.
And then David Singletary had trouble hitting the holes during the first part of the season. And you said about Singletary's use. Yeah, I feel like that was the issue last year for the Bills. Singletary just broke into the scene. Like every time he touched the ball, it was a first down. He was electric. But the Bills refused to give him the ball for some reason.
Because Frank Gore was there.
Exactly. Frank Gore was taking, half of his carries away for whatever reason. It was just mind-boggling why they were doing that. And now this year, they're giving him a little bit more of a fair share, but now he's still splitting with Zach Moss now.
Right. And also, a little different this year, I think, is why you're not seeing him as featured as much is that Brian Daboll came out and said, this is a pass-first offense. Like, the way the amount of talent in the receiving core and the way Josh Allen's progressed this year from last year, he's like, no, we're a pass-first team right now. Like, we want the run game to be there when we need it, but our mindset is pass right now, which works most of the time, not all the time. So it's finally good to see that the run game's picked up a little bit against New England. Like, I know the 49ers kind of ran all over New England. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? Last week? I don't remember. Last week, I think.
The week 7, yeah.
Week 7. So it would have been last week. So apparently New England's got a soft defense. They have a lot of players that not opted out. But I don't know. It was good to see the run game going. You kind of saw a little bit foreshadowing against the Jets for the Bills in week 7, kind of get rolling. And, maybe we got something here. Maybe Zach Moss is starting to get a little bit more comfortable back there. We can have a two-headed monster in the backfield that's at our disposal if Josh Allen's not having a good day on the field. I think this is surprisingly, we haven't heard anything about Diggs having attitude on the field about not getting any passes. Josh Allen's also thrown to him a lot, but he's also thrown to Cole Beasley a lot. And
I feel like Diggs is getting his fair share of targets. It's just a matter if he's actually catching them. Right.
Josh Allen has put it in some tight windows to get to Diggs for sure, but just to kind of the run game is there now. So, look out for these Bills. They got through October. They got through the ugly month. Now we're going to they got a tough slate coming up. They playing the Seahawks on Sunday. And
big game.
And then go to Arizona, and then they're on their bye week, but then they get the Chargers after Thanksgiving. So it's a little tough stretch here. They got the bye week coming up, but yeah.
Are the Chargers really a threat anymore?
I don't think so anymore.
Like, we're gonna get to them in a second here, but
yeah,
it's kind of depressing.
It really is because of the talent that's on that team.
And Diggs is like second in receiving yards, says David.
Yeah, he's very sneakily racked up a ton of yards this year that hasn't been talked about a ton. It seems like on your other sports media sites and whatnot. But
I think after the Bills dropped 2 games,
right,
the national media kind of was like, "Oh, we're done with these guys."
Yep, they jumped off the bandwagon and found another one to jump on.
Yeah.
So, but I'm worried about these Patriots. I'm not really worried because I'm a Bills fan, but
I'm not worried. No one else is worried.
The Patriots fans are probably getting ready to burn the stadium down because they're freaking out because it's now coming true that Tom Brady left and Bill Belichick needed Tom Brady.
I can't say that. I'm going to have to throw a little disagreement at you.
Right.
Just a little bit, because obviously Cam Newton's not – Tom Brady's an amazing quarterback. He's like one of the greatest of all times. I'm not going to get into a GOAT conversation, but he's very, very, very talented and did a lot with nothing. But on the other side, like you said before, there's a lot of opt-outs due to COVID for the Patriots, like their entire defense. They lost all of their starting linebackers in free agency. They've started wide receivers that you don't know who their names are. I could not name a single wide receiver except N'Keal Harry that started this past week for the Patriots. Sony Michel has not panned out. James White is nowhere to be found. I don't even know if is he playing? Because his father passed away, I think, or because he is okay.
Yep.
He just seems like he's not there. There's nothing left in this team.
Right.
The soul, everything with this team is left with Tom Brady. It's a shell of itself.
Yep.
So it's hard to just throw this blame at Bill Belichick and just be like, you suck. Like without Tom Brady or nothing. Even if Tom Brady was here, I'd have trouble believing that this team would be successful. I have a hard time believing that. I really do.
I mean, I agree with you. I think this year is definitely an oddball one for the Patriots because of the amount of opt-outs and, the change in Tom Brady to Cam Newton now. It just seems weird that whenever there was a time where a player kind of got hurt, something happened to the team defense, it was always next man up on that Patriots team. It's next man up, and they're not playing well. I mean,
they're like 3 or 4 deep right now, though. I mean, next man up normally means like the second stringer. All right, kid, it's your time to shine. They're like 3 or 4 deep, 5 at wide
and that's
receiver.
Belichick's thing, though, too, is next man up. So, yeah, I mean, it's a weird year, but I don't know. I think the clock's ticking a touch faster for Belichick than I think it was last year.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a major turnaround this offseason for them to be successful. Diggs is first in the NFL in targets, third in receptions, and second in receiving yards. Wow. That's pretty good. And I don't think he's unhappy. Also, he's typing on his iPad, so a couple of things there. Yeah, I think he's happy with the first in targets. I think Diggs will be happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the slate, we have the Seahawks beating the Niners at home. I mean, it was 37-27 because the Seahawks, God forbid, they just have a blowout. The entire fourth quarter, they just threw up their hands and they're like, score as many points as you want. It's kind of like, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
But, Russell Wilson played very good. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdown passes. I don't remember. He played well. We didn't have Chris Carson. Rashad Penny's still out. Travis Homer has a knee injury. Carlos Hyde was out. Our rookie DJ Dallas was running all over the place. He played very well. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 1 rushing.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks played how they were supposed to play. They showed up. The defense was pretty good for most of the game. Bobby Wagner was absolutely electric. But the 49ers, man.
They are in a world of hurt.
Jimmy Garoppolo, out indefinitely. George Kittle, out. If you talk to George Kittle, he'd say 2 weeks, but the doctors say 8 weeks with a broken bone in his foot.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost Mostert. He's on IR. They've lost Jeff Wilson. He's on IR. They started JaMychal Hasty this week. Even against the Seahawks defense that is not very good, he did not perform well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 49ers have finally hit their limit of how many running backs they can go through that'll be good.
Yeah.
I think they finally found we've topped out at JaMychal Hasty. Like we can't even be good enough to help JaMychal Hasty. Deebo Samuel's out. Fred Warner went out at one point because of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a tweet that said they have $80 million in cap space on IR.
Ooh.
That just sums it up for you right there.
That's a rough season.
People have literally stopped counting. Because I remember at one point they said the 49ers have 13 players not on IR, just injured, fighting injury. They were counting, the injuries early on in the season.
Yeah.
They've stopped counting. There's no more tweets saying there's 13, 14, 15. No, it's just
the
49ers are they're putting the 49ers on IR. You just go away.
Oh.
Their season's virtually over. Right? It has to be over.
I would think so. They're bottom of the NFC West, right?
Yeah, because they still have 4 wins. They still have 4 wins. The Rams and the Cardinals have 5, and the Seahawks are at 6-1.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, one team had to be the bottom of the division. It kind of is what it is. 4 wins isn't terrible this time of year. Not great, but the Niners just can't help themselves right now. They're so hurt.
There's nothing you can do. It's just,
No.
and now my hot take doesn't seem like a hot take anymore, saying the Cardinals would have a better season than the 49ers. Because it's not like they had a better season, they just stayed healthier. That's really all. That's really all it is at this point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was a game. It was interesting. It was fun to watch the Seahawks do well. DK Metcalf had a career game.
Yeah.
2 touchdown catches. Yeah. It was a good day. I had fun. I had fun watching it. Our first real upset here, the Bengals destroyed. I think it's fair to say destroyed.
Yeah.
Because a couple of these Titans points came later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals ended up winning the game 31-20. I'm going to pull up some box score stats just so I have it. This is the first game that the Titans have lost in the past 2 seasons when Derrick Henry goes over 100 yards rushing.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact.
I'm surprised the Bengals only kept him to just over 100 and not 200.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told this a few times. I don't really believe it, but people say the Bengals defense is a top 10 defense, especially their run defense. I don't know how true that is. I don't watch enough Bengals football to really know if that's
It seems a little bit of a stretch, but all right, we'll have to keep an eye on
Derrick Henry
averaged
6.2 yards a carry. I don't think that's top 10 defense when you're averaging 6.2 yards. But he only had 18 carries. He was averaging 6.2 yards a carry, 112 yards. His longest was 21. That means he was doing well. It wasn't like 112 yards and he had like an 80-yard run. He was consistently running well. He only had 18 carries.
So that they didn't use him in the game plan. They wanted to pass in the Bengals instead of run the ball. If they would have ran Henry probably 40 times, then they probably would have won.
Which is what they usually do, you know.
Right. Is maybe Henry he was having an off day. Maybe he his yardage is there, but maybe he was like fourth quarter like, Coach, I'm a little sore from the last 4 weeks of running all the time. Can you take a break?
35 carry games are catching up to him. And this is what I was worried about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I called it, but you look at his carries early in the season, you almost kind of thought this would happen at some point. Not saying that's what happened.
Right.
But maybe it is. You don't know. Especially after last week playing the Steelers, that's got to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Tannehill was 18 of 30, so just barely above 50% completion percentage, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Joe Burrow, Joey Money, 26 of 37, 2 touchdown passes, and he really did it all.
Yeah.
Because the ground game wasn't there. Giovanni Bernard did well. It was just another game without Joe Mixon. I never thought they would win a game without Joe Mixon on the ground. But they did well. T. Higgins is becoming a star for this team. 6 receptions, 78 yards. And that's the connection I wanted to happen.
Yep.
The 2 rookies, they're going to grow together. And these 2 should become an ultimate, they should become best friends and become an ultimate team, duo. That's what I imagine happening.
Yeah.
They come into the league together. They're both, Joe Burrow was a first-round pick. T. Higgins a second-round pick. I would imagine that was the conversation the Bengals had. We're going to get the quarterback, and then we're going to get his best friend. And they're going to become, like stepbrothers. They're going to become their best friends. They're going to make bunk beds together. Yep. They're going to go and they're going to have all this room for activities. It's going to be great. And I feel like that's what's starting to happen.
No, I completely agree with you. It's good to see this happening with those 2, with Higgins and Burrow. But also Burrow came into this league probably one of the most pro-ready quarterbacks that we've seen, that the NFL has seen as a rookie. We've had rookie quarterbacks kind of play well, it's their new style. The NFL hasn't seen it yet. Defenses aren't ready for him. But Joe Burrow's just coming in. He's like, you know what? I'm going to command this team. I'm going to do my best. And we're going to see what happens. And that's what he's doing. And that's how you beat the Titans. They weren't expecting him to play well. The Titans might have slept on him a little bit. Oh, we're just playing the Bengals. And then you catch them off guard.
Especially when they had to go to Cincinnati, too. It was that might have helped. Yeah, sleeping. You can't just let a week go by in this league. You have to take it week by week, and now the Titans have lost 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good look.
No, not
Especially
good.
when it's to the Bengals. Man, Joe Burrow. How many Super Bowls is Joe Burrow going to win with the Bengals? Imagine this. The Bengals become a playoff team. Oh, my. That's weird to think about.
Anything's possible with 14 teams now getting going to the playoffs.
That's true. They talked about expanding the playoffs recently. I don't know why they would do that. Like, they talked about making it a 16-team playoff. Get out of here.
It's a little, I think it's a little much.
That's half the league. No thanks. The Raiders at the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns just couldn't do anything.
No.
It was cold and snowing, and Baker Mayfield, the wind, and he couldn't throw the ball. Guess what? There was 2 teams, and one of them could do it, and the other one couldn't. I took this game because I believed in the Raiders' ground game more than I trusted the ground game of the Browns. And I called it right. Josh Jacobs, 31 carries, 128 yards, to Kareem Hunt's 14 carries and 66 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr were virtually the same, but Derek Carr did have 1 touchdown pass, but they both underperformed. But it was the ground game that got it done and moved the ball for the Raiders. And they didn't have that for the Browns, and the Raiders won. Pretty simple, in my opinion. Bad weather, you go to the ground game, and the Raiders won.
There was also 3 touchdowns between the 2 teams that got called back because the receiver didn't catch the ball well. Like the ball hit the ground. Like three different times there could have been a potential touchdown, and it didn't happen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was not so good.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sucks. But still, hey. Both teams were playing in the same situation, and one just underperformed more than the other.
Yep.
The Colts and the Lions?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, this one hurt my feelings. Looking back on it, retrospect, whatever you want to call it, I should have picked the Colts. But, I just picked the wrong upset. I said last week, you always want to look for like that one game that could be the upset. Right. I just picked the wrong game. That's all. It was the Bengals over. It was the Bengals over the Titans. Who would have thought? Yeah, I picked the Lions over the Colts. Matthew Stafford had a good day.
Yeah,
he threw 3 touchdown passes. He only had 1 interception. Phillip Rivers also threw 3 touchdowns. But here you go. This was the day. This is what happened on the ground for the Lions. The rushing game. 13 total carries. 29 yards.
Oof.
Their leading rusher was Jamal Agnew, who had 1 carry for 11 yards.
Wow. That's not good. That's pretty terrible when you have Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, and Adrian Peterson also there.
Yeah, Johnson didn't get a carry. Adrian Peterson had 5 carries for 7 yards, and DeAndre Swift had 6 carries for 1 yard.
Wow.
That's why they lost.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Just straight up, that's why they lost.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford barely completed half of his passes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Colts defense. I mean, that's what people have been talking about with the Colts is their defense, and I guess it showed up against the Lions. I feel like the Colts defense was struggling the past few weeks. I was kind of calling them out. Like, maybe they're not as good as they are. Yeah, no. I think they showed up last week. Or this past Sunday.
Yeah. I completely agree there.
The Vikings was the other upset. The Vikings went into Lambeau and beat the Packers. Wait, hold on. Rewind. Correct myself. Dalvin Cook went to Lambeau Field and beat the Packers. That's not even a lie. He scored all of the points for the Vikings with the exception of the extra points. I'm sure if you asked Dalvin Cook, he would have ran for the 2-point conversion and probably still got it. Dalvin Cook has absolutely just killed the Packers.
Yeah.
That's wow. I was just shocked and awe because I was watching a lot of that game and Dalvin Cook was 50-yard screen touchdown, long catches.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know what he had for scrimmage yards. Let's find out. He had 163 yards and 3 of those touchdowns were on the ground. And then 2 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown through the air. The dude had over 200 yards all purpose.
Yeah, looking at 220-something.
This is the first time I'm looking at these stats. Kirk Cousins only threw 14 passes, 11 of 14 and 1 touchdown, which was to Dalvin Cook on that screen.
Wow.
And Dalvin Cook did the rest. 30 carries, 163 yards.
So they should have drafted a defender for the Packers in the first round instead of Jordan Love, is what you're saying. We all talk about we talk about weapons for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they should have got someone for defense.
I think they need both still.
They probably do, but
just to be fair, I think they need both. Devontae Adams had 3 touchdowns, though. That's kind of fun. Dalvin Cook just killed the Packers, and the Packers just need so much more. It all comes back to that. They drafted Jordan Love in the first round, and all he's doing is sitting on the bench. This is a Packers team that is supposed to be winning now. This is a Packers team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, and you take Jordan Love in the first round. You don't need that. To win now, you don't get a quarterback who's not going to start for another 3 years, right. 2 to 3 years. It just didn't make sense. And now you're sitting here, and Robert Tonyan was your leading receiver of this game. You have Jace Sternberger. Who are these people? And now they got to turn it around, and they got to go to play the 49ers, who absolutely demolished them in the NFC Championship game. That was a completely different team that they're going to face this Thursday. But still, you get my point.
Yeah.
Crazy. I feel like I talked a lot there. You got an opinion?
I don't know what happened to the Packers. I'm blaming the defense on this loss. Although,
yeah, 100%.
Because just the fact that you let Dalvin Cook just run all over you, like there's an issue there. Yeah. Is that Packers defense has never been, from what I remember, never top 3. I would say they're top 10 for the most part. Like they're decent, but they're not great. They're not like super level great. I don't know. It was a surprise that the Packers couldn't do it at home. I mean, air quotes home, because there's nobody there. But they're in their stadium, and they couldn't
didn't have to
beat
travel,
the Vikings, who the Vikings have been playing like garbage for so much this season.
But that's what happened against the 49ers. The 49ers ran all over them in the NFC Championship game. And that's virtually all. The Vikings just said, hey, let's turn on the NFC Championship game. That's what we're doing. And that's what they did. They ran all over them.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers could have been, looking at that 49ers game, not looking much at the Vikings game. Similar situation to the Titans over the Bengals. You don't want to sleep on your next opponent. Like, you can't look ahead too far. You got to look at that next week's opponent. But the Packers have some issues there for sure.
Yeah. They got issues all over the place. But they have Aaron Rodgers, so everyone just assumes they're going to win games and be fine.
Yeah.
That's not the case. The Jets lost to the Chiefs 35-9.
Next.
The Jets kept it close, like in the first half. I was kind of just sitting there like, how the heck is the game this close? Like, is there a chance? And then no, the second half happened, and no, there's a chance. The game that really blew my socks off was the Rams at the Dolphins. And a lot of people that bet on games, they always tell you to bet based on numbers and not your heart. Always go off the numbers. And what I said last Thursday when we were making picks was the Rams are 2-11 against the Dolphins. 2-11. In your mind or in your heart, you think that the Rams are better than the Dolphins.
Yep.
Tua's getting his first start. That defense should just rip him apart. Yep. That's what you would think. But the Rams are 2-11, now 2-12 against the Dolphins. I don't even know how many turnovers the Rams had. It was a lot. Like every time they went and did a highlight of that game, when I was watching the Red Zone channel, it was just Jared Goff turning the ball over. I think he had 4 turnovers in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, yeah.
He had a punt return for a touchdown, first of the season in the NFL. That's cool.
Yeah. Always
You're
good to see
that
those.
a lot.
No, you don't really see that a lot anymore.
Especially with their new rules of like not being able to run or something first. It's something with the gunners, something weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a fumble 6, not a pick 6. I think they had a fumble 6.
I think it was a fumble 6. Yep.
Because it was just last week where we were saying the Chiefs got that game where they scored a touchdown on offense, defense, and special teams.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins just did the same thing.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about it because all they want to do is talk about Tua.
No, but this defense though, they stepped up. Shaq Lawson had himself a day. All over Jared Goff. I do miss him a little bit.
Do you miss?
I miss that explosiveness that you see down there. I just want that up in Buffalo. Just want that a little bit. But I think the Bills have it. They're getting it. It's coming.
I'm a Seahawks fan. I want anything. I want anything for a pass rush. Yeah, Jared Goff had 2 interceptions. He lost 2 fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was it for their turnovers, I think, from what I'm seeing. So they had 4 turnovers. Okay. And yeah, Tua was 12 of 22, 93 yards and a touchdown.
Efficient. Simple.
And he did what he was supposed to do. And the defense and special teams did the rest.
Yeah.
And it was all because of Jared Goff just failed miserably.
Yeah.
All of the Miami's points came in the first half, which was off of Jared Goff's turnovers.
Right.
And then the defense just held the lead for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And the Rams tried to make a push at the end there, but they ran out of time.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a 5th quarter, maybe they got him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, clock was not in their favor after those turnovers from Jared Goff. I'm just curious with the Rams. When do you move on from him?
From Jared Goff?
Is there a point that we reach where you move on from Jared Goff?
I don't know. I think the Rams aren't going to move off of Jared. I think it's going to be a simultaneous situation here with the Eagles and the Rams. Because they've both given their starting quarterbacks big contracts. They're both from the same draft. Carson Wentz has a little bit worse of a game than Jared Goff does. But
Carson Wentz is just a turnover machine, though. He's just awful. So
the Eagles are getting robbed, and the Rams are just, they're seeing a decline in their return on investment, and they're like, okay, it's not terrible yet. We can still recover from this bleed out, but we'll be okay in the long term. And I think it's going to be a simultaneous thing with those two teams. So maybe next offseason we're looking at Jared Goff, getting traded. Maybe they're just going to release him. Maybe they draft a quarterback this year. Maybe they're in that that top 10, top of the top 10, low teens draft order, and there could be a quarterback there waiting for him.
I feel like they go through one more season with Jared, depending on their playoff. If they can make the playoffs, I think he'll be safe. But
right, yeah,
I feel like we've seen the limit of Jared Goff. Like he made the Super Bowl and just completely flunked the Super Bowl, and then since then, like his ceiling is beating okay teams on a good day. Like I feel like we're not going to see much more than that.
Right.
We just had Rachel Phillips and my wife tune into this show.
Oh.
Hi. She never watches the show.
Well, it's probably because we've been on for so long.
Yeah.
Where's Alan at?
Yeah, she's just tuning in, and she's going to leave a comment on here like, you going to be done soon? Get off. Get off your stupid podcast. The Steelers beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins had a good day.
I saw that. Yeah, he was
his first good day of the season.
Finally breaking out there a little bit, for him.
Getting his due. But yeah, no, the Ravens ran all over the Steelers. That's how they got their lead. That's how they just controlled this game.
Yep.
And then they stopped. They're just like, I guess we got a pretty good lead here. We're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar, you go out there and throw a couple passes. Why don't you? Well, the Steelers come back. They grab the lead in the second half, and Lamar Jackson had to throw the ball late. And if the words coming out of the announcers' mouths or out of anyone's mouths late in a Ravens game, and the words are they have to put the ball in the hands of Lamar Jackson to throw the ball, you have already lost the game.
Yep.
If you have to have him throw the ball, you are going to lose. And that is my very strong opinion of Lamar Jackson.
I'm right there with you. You know, Mike Tomlin said the Steelers didn't play up to his expectation this week. You know, they are lucky to be undefeated this week. You know, they could have just not. You know, if the Ravens would have just kept the pedal to the metal there and kept the foot on the gas, you know, Steelers we could be looking at all the undefeated teams gone. But you know,
whole question still stands.
Yeah, we're 1-1 left, so
still waiting.
Still waiting for that Jets win.
Yeah, the Jets win or the Steelers loss. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, we've gotten a lot closer to a Steelers loss than the Jets win. Tell you.
Yes, we very much.
Based off the last couple of games, probability would tell you the Steelers will probably lose first.
Yes,
because the Jets have not been anywhere near a win, except the Bills. Yeah. AFC North runs through Pittsburgh. It's a straight fact. That defense is going to be tough to get by for any team.
Yeah. Seahawks don't play them this year, right? They played them last year.
Yeah, I don't think the Steelers are on the docket.
Nice.
You know, I don't want to. Gosh, I said it, and now I'm going to say it here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a midway through the season Super Bowl prediction. I'm still sticking because you have to stick with your one at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to. That's the rules of sports media.
Yeah.
But if I had to change it right now, if someone gave me the option right now to either change it or just ask me the question, I would have to tell you it's a Steelers-Buccaneers Super Bowl. Like, that's what I would tell you. Because they both have great defenses, and I think the Buccaneers have a little bit better of an offense, but I would say they're pretty similar offenses. I don't see the Seahawks getting there right now because of their defense.
Yeah. No,
You're begging Russell Wilson to have to throw 5 touchdowns a game just to keep him in it.
Yeah. No, that's probably a very likely pick there. Yeah. Looking at the Super Bowl, but you never know. But
anything can happen.
But that's if you were looking at on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give that about an 8.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, the Chargers. Oh boy, you know the Chargers had a 24-3 lead. The Broncos came back right at the end of the game, kicked the extra point to win the game, 31-30. That's just what the Chargers do. They just blow big leads. Yeah. They've been doing it for years, and it calls into question Anthony Lynn's job. I think this is finally the game where people officially have put Anthony Lynn on the hot seat. Because before it was, you would like to think he's not on the hot seat because he has a rookie quarterback.
Right.
But this has been a trend with the Chargers. I called the Chargers the Falcons of the AFC. They just blow leads. That's what they do. Maybe not as extreme at times, with the exception of this one, at times as the Falcons, but this is just what they do, and it sucks to see because I'm a Chargers fan, like in my soul. I kind of just for some reason root for them.
Yeah,
and I love Justin Herbert, but you can't be blowing 24-3 leads, man. You just, especially to the Broncos, you just can't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean the biggest thing with the Chargers blowing leads is you always say injuries. Injuries always plague them. Well, that falls on a general manager to be able to sign the draft the right guys, sign the right guys in the offseason, get the right guys in your practice squad that will move up and be effective on that defense, and keep your guys that are starting healthy. But that also falls on the head coach. I don't think Anthony Lynn's as much on the hot seat as you might think. It's only, I think, his second year there. I think second.
Good question.
But I mean, even before Anthony Lynn, this has been a Chargers thing. You know, the Chargers with Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson. You know, AFC playoff game. I want to say AFC championship game against the Patriots. Probably late 2000s. You know, they blow a lead there. You know, they just can't. They choke. And it's a Chargers thing, apparently. You know, they have to score 45 points in order to get the lead big enough in order to win, or they're playing from behind and pulling the comebacks. There's no in between. You either blow them out or you come from behind to win. It seems like they're just not well rounded. I think it's
and it is Anthony Lynn's third season. I think they hired him back in 2017. I just saw. I googled it myself real quick.
Oh, yep, you're right. No, he was hired, but he was hired in 2017 to the Chargers because he was the interim coach for the Bills the last few games of the 2016 season when they let Rex Ryan go, and then they hired Sean McDermott. So it is 3. Yeah.
Depressing stuff. Kind of feel bad. But yeah. I feel like he'll be saved mostly because he has a rookie quarterback. I feel like even if he was on a hot seat, even if they were sick of the blown leads, if they're sick of the losing records, I think just the fact that he has a rookie quarterback in there to work with and grow with might buy him a couple more years.
Yeah, no, I think it does. I think just the talent, the ceiling with Herbert right now is through the roof because he's just shown so much potential. And the Chargers just need to figure out how to make it work consistently.
Yeah.
So
4 quarters. Whatever you do at this quarter when it worked really well, just figure out how to do it for the rest of them.
Yeah. I
mean, everything will be fine.
Just to kind of talk on the Broncos quick, KJ Hamler, you know, he was a good pickup, but he was a good draft pick for them. You know,
finally
getting that good catch in the end zone from Drew Lock. You know, Drew Lock doing his little dance and after he scored the touchdown, but you know, you're seeing that offensive weapons starting to pan out a little bit for the Broncos. I mean, they're still plagued by injury, and they're still like it's little flashes of talent that they're seeing. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of what a lot of people expected in the offseason of what to see from the Broncos. Not the comeback, but more just the being able to pull it off.
Yeah, being able to score 31 points.
Right.
An offense that can put up 31 points because the Broncos have not had an offense that could do that in a long time. The Saints beat the Bears, honestly. It was expected. I'm surprised it was as close as it was, but for God's sakes, what happened there?
Whew, man.
Javon Wims. Apparently, you know, I learned something. The cornerback for the Saints, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, apparently has a history of running his mouth. Because apparently that's the player that Michael Thomas punched in practice.
Oh.
For talking some trash. And I guess now Chauncey was talking some trash in a game. There was a mouth guard grab.
Yep.
You know, some things being said. So Javon Wims, after a play, when he wasn't even being guarded by Chauncey, after a play's over, Javon just walks over and he kind of like gives a little tap on the chest of Chauncey and then smacks him in the side of the head. And then, you know, Chauncey's just like, what did he just do? And then Javon goes in again with a second punch, like a second straight punch to the head with a helmet on. You know, he punched him in the helmet. Yeah. I don't know what you gain from that.
Right.
And then just all out, you know, Malcolm Jenkins ends up jumping on the back of Wims and like tries to take him to the ground, which was awesome. like, because you sent in the group message, you guys see that fight? You see him punch that dude? I was like, what are you talking about? You sent the video. I was like, what? Its series of events was just bizarre.
Right? Yeah. Like, when this
like he was like guarding him on that play and they get into it and, he throws a fist. No, he just walks over. He's like, hey, bud. Boom. Right in the side of the head. Like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Runs up, rips his chain, rips Chauncey's chain off of him, and then just haymaker right to the helmet. I mean, take the guy's helmet off if you're going to hit him first. If you're going to hit him well, take his helmet off. You're just going to hurt your hand.
Yeah, like do a little eye poke, like get him in the face mask or something. If you're actually trying to hurt somebody, you don't hit him in the helmet. That's just
gotta do a little Three Stooges there. Whoop.
Just bad play calling. Bad play calling from the Bears, and then bad play calling on the fight. In his head, he was calling bad plays. All right, I'm going to punch him in the head here. No, that's a bad call. Bad call. Might want to call an audible on that. The Cowboys and the Eagles. If you watch this entire game, which, I also watched this entire game, God bless your soul. This was one of the hardest games I've had to watch all season. Yeah. It was just sacks, turnovers, terrible offensive line play, terrible offenses in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know why I stayed up all night to watch this game. It was a bad game to watch. I have nothing positive to say for either team except the Eagles' defensive line did well. But it was against this Cowboys offensive line that's in shambles.
Yep. That's pretty much it. I mean, I watched probably up through the fourth quarter, I want to say. And then that was it.
Yeah. I mean, Carson Wentz is a turnover machine. I don't care if DiNucci turned the ball over 2-3 times. I don't know what he turned it over at. That's fine. That's generally expected of a seventh round draft pick who was not prepared to play and then going against this Eagles defensive line that's pretty good.
Hmm.
It's a bad game, but they won 23-9. Godspeed to the Eagles. They're on top of the division. 4-1.
I believe so, yes.
That sounds right. That's 8 games.
Yep.
And then, surprisingly, what turned out to be a really good game, the Buccaneers at the Giants. The Giants started out very good. And my mom asked me if I saw Carson's press conference. I did not. I think he fumbled the mic, during that press conference. Oh, but the Giants started out good. They were up 14-6 at the half, I think.
14-6, 14-9, somewhere around there.
It's like they were up at half. It was like, holy crap, what is happening here? And then, the Bucks came back, but the Giants scored again, and then the Bucks took the lead. Mm-hmm. And then, the big talk of the day was the Giants did go down. They scored a touchdown. Daniel Jones drove him down the field, did great. Mm-hmm. He had an okay game.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones has to do the 2-point conversion to tie it. He throws a terrible ball. He throws the ball late out of the break for the running back. Mm-hmm. He throws it behind him. So he and then Winfield Jr. Mm-hmm. Whitfield Jr. for the Bucks goes over there and he makes contact with the Giants running back. And it was kind of simultaneous to the ball getting there. The ball was behind the running back. They threw the flag for defensive pass interference, but they picked up the flag after some discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a flag, could have not been a flag. I don't know. They've called defensive pass interference on lesser offensive plays than that. But at the end of the day, I go back to that was a terrible throw by Daniel Jones. It was behind his running back. It was thrown late. If he throws the ball to the pylon a little bit sooner, we don't have this discussion and we go to overtime and we see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But now we get caught up with this flag talk. I don't know. It's annoying. TJ Burns is in the house. He says, what's up? And Carson said that he isn't changing anything. He needs to be benched. He says he's not changing anything. Oh, my God, that's concerning. He leads the league in turnovers. You got to find something to change, son.
Oh. But yeah, I definitely agree here with Daniel Jones. I noticed it a lot. He had a lot of the catches he threw, like, a lot of the throws that were caught were air balls. Like, he is overthrowing his receivers way too much. He's not putting an arch into it. He's not dropping it into their hands. He's throwing it fast and up in the air, and a lot of times it's out of the receiver's hands. They can't run up. They can't catch it because they're not there. Where he's not putting the ball where he needs to. He's just throwing it in a general area, which is a very Phillip Rivers thing to do.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, luckily last night Evan Ingram was able to make the catch on the sideline. This is the exact same play that he didn't make the catch against the Eagles because it was just out of reach because Daniel Jones overthrew him. You can't do that. Daniel Jones needs to work on his touch. That's something that I started to notice the last few weeks, or anytime I've really watched a Giants game or seen any highlights. He struggles with that a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to work on his touch and his decision making.
Yes. And
because his second interception, he's literally like being taken to the ground. He's like in the middle of being sacked.
Right.
And he throws this ball into I think I see a guy in a blue jersey over there. Good luck, dude. And he throws an interception. It's like.
Right. And that's where, like, the hiring of Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator, like, Daniel Jones should be getting better with Garrett there. Now, this could turn out to be that Daniel Jones is not the Giants quarterback they thought that he was. So, I don't know. I think I've seen an improvement this year with him. I just want to see more.
Yeah, he's on his rookie's contract. You might have at least one more year maybe to see what you got with him if you want to see more with him. But I think they should probably look at who's in if they have the second pick overall maybe this year. Justin Fields is sitting there. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
TJ Burns says Brady banging his helmet against the bench. I don't care about that. A lot of people.
Brady looked pretty rusty in that first half. I mean, granted, the Giants defense is playing all out, and it's probably why the Buccaneers were able to adjust and start scoring points against the Giants because the Giants didn't change. They're like, oh, well, this is working. Then we're just going to keep doing that. Well, the Buccaneers adjusted. And
yeah,
the Giants, they burned themselves out on the field.
And it was another week without Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Evans is, your veteran guy out there. But how healthy is Mike Evans ever going to be? Is he ever going to be at 100% this season? We don't really know. He's still battling, hamstring issues. And then so your leading receiver out there is going to be Scotty Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Tyler Johnson, I think, who 6th, 7th rounder. He's working with what he's got out there. It's not a bad offense, but it's not like he doesn't have Chris Godwin. He's going to have Antonio Brown come next week. So this is what I come back to. They barely beat a very bad Giants team. This is what I keep coming back to. If the Buccaneers can and probably will make the Super Bowl if everyone is healthy. Because we saw, even if they're missing one receiver, if Chris Godwin's out, if Mike Evans is hobbled a little bit, they'll be lucky to beat the Giants. And that's what we've been seeing. Yeah. But him banging his helmet against the bench, I mean, you see that all the time. He's a passionate guy. He gets frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of indifferent on it. I'll go with option 3 there. I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
And my mom thought that was blatant PI. Yeah. If you slow it down, because you can't review pass interference anymore.
Right.
So they're just talking about this. They're not seeing things in slow motion. They're just talking it over with each other.
Yeah.
And, all the fans at home, we can take pictures, screenshots of how he kind of made contact with him before the ball got there. In real time, he probably touched him 0.2 seconds before the ball arrived. I mean, can you call it? In slow motion, you'd call it every time. In full speed, the ball was behind the receiver, and the ball got there and it hit the defender in the arm right as soon as he made contact with running back. That's just
Right.
that's what it was.
I mean, if the ball's placed better by Daniel Jones, you might get a better PI call.
Right.
I think the ball's placement here is probably what's making it, I feel like, so wishy-washy and of a call and for PI or not. So, but it's a judgment. It's a judgment penalty by the refs.
Like, and some people said if that flag was called and it was Tom Brady throwing the ball against the Giants defense, they never would have picked up that flag. In a million years, they don't pick up that flag. Every time that's getting called immediately. They don't even have to conference. They just be like, yeah, I see you. PI, yeah. You're welcome, Tom. I got you, fam. Yeah. Well, I think that's our show. Almost 2 hours. So you almost made it. We can keep talking if you want. Who'd you guys vote for? No, I'm just kidding. Don't answer that question.
Don't answer that question. You guys got 20 minutes if you're in New York. So if you really haven't gone and vote yet, you have you do not have 20 minutes. You have 12
minutes.
You have 12 minutes to get there, because if you get there and the polls are closed, they still have to let you vote.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. If there are people in line when the polls close, they still have the right to vote.
I mean, that decision's kind of getting made tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be made tonight, at least.
It's supposed
pending any, like, crazy things happening.
Right. Most likely, they'll have an idea of who won tonight, but most likely we won't know for sure for probably a week.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to the wife about. I guess we're just going to talk about this at the end of the show. I was like, I gave her a choice. Like, what's the over-under? Because normally, like, when we found out that Trump won this last election, it happened at, like, 3 a.m. the next day was when it was like, he's got the electoral votes,
Right.
With everything happening this year and everything that's been said by the candidates and all this whatnot, I gave her the choice. I gave her a betting line here, an over-under. That I gave her the over-under of, are we going to know who the president is before or after this Thursday at noon? Good show, fellas, from David Timmons. Thanks, brother. Have a fantastic night if you're bouncing, because I guess we're just going to talk about this real quick. But if you would say we'll find out who's the president before or after this Thursday at noon.
I would probably take the after.
Would you? All right.
I feel
because we went back to the George Bush and Al Gore when they did the recount. That took 3 days.
Right.
But we have the technology these days to do a recount a little faster, I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it would take a full 3 days. So I don't know. I threw it Thursday because it makes it a little harder to decide.
Right. Well, I think a lot of the issues that might hang up here for a decision is the amount of mail-in ballots that are currently delayed. Like a lot of mail-in ballots that were stamped today that went out that weren't just dropped.
Those right now. You gotta wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait till they get there. Like, it's gonna take a day or two to count, to get them there and count. So I would think we might know by next podcast. We might not.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
It's going to be a close call. TJ says he did not vote for Joe Buck. No one votes for Joe Buck. Nobody wants that. Oh, Lord. What a show.
Oh, yeah.
What a show. That was a burner right there. We had a great time. Hope everyone else had a great time. We're going to sign off, but new president yet or not, we will be back Thursday because
Mama didn't raise no wussies.